Yo, what's going on all my Pokemon people? It's me, JCreams14 here, and this week of the PEBA, we are going to be going against a really good guy. His name's Daboss, and he's got quite a threatening team. We both have pretty good records right now. The Baytown Blue Shells are sitting at 6-3 at the moment, and if you want to just skip ahead to the battle, there's a little timestamp down in the bottom left that you can just go to that time and you'll be ready to the battle. But anyways, so I'm sorry, DeBoss's team is going to be down there at the just below ours on the right hand side, and he's got quite a bit of threats. That Mega Alakazam can hit like a freaking special truck. Garchomp, he's actually got quite a few kills this season, and I also have to be aware of the likes of like a Scarf or Spec Shaman or Banded Entei, which could really put in a lot of work. But anyways, kicking off our team is going to be our captain, Quicksilver the Weavile, with the Life Orb, Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, Knockoff, and Sword Stance. After an SD, this thing basically kills everything. Ice Shard will kill Alakazam, so I don't have to run. Um, yeah. So that's going to be really handy. Next up, we got Snips the Gligar with holding the EV Light with Sandveil, Defog, Roost, U-Turn, Earthquake. I wanted to run Immunity, but I couldn't do that with the Defog on there. So that kind of blows, but I definitely want Defog on Gligar this week so that I can run Heal Bell on Togekiss. But anyways, we're just going max defense to really take on that Entei and Cobalion, as those things are quite threatening to my team. This little flying scorpion is pretty much the only thing on my team to take those on. I guess a thick fat Miltank could take on the Entei, but Cobalion really destroys it, along with a bunch, or along with basically everything else on his team. So that's why we're not bringing Miltank this week, but instead Gligar. Also, U-turn will give us some momentum if we can predict it correctly. Earthquake is there for coverage on the Cobalion and the Entei. This can also switch into things like Tauros and get a slow U-turn off, which I can go into like Zap or Quicksilver to get some good damage off on Tauros. But anyways, so yeah, that's going to be Gligar. Next up, we got Make-A-Wish, the Shucka Berry holding Jirachi. This is to be able to take a hit from a potentially Scarf Chomp or a max speed Garchomp to be able to outspeed Jirachi. We have Healing Wish that just so that in case we have to heal something up on our team, that could be a crucial move. Zen Headbutt and Iron Head are just dual stab. It's pretty good against his team. Iron Head will be able to hit the it'll hit the Sylveon, which I really did need coverage for it because if I didn't have coverage on a Jirachi, I wouldn't have coverage for it anywhere. But yeah, that's basically the only thing that we really need Iron Head for. And then Zen Headbutt can get some decent damage off on Cobalion along with Tentacruel. And yeah, so that's kind of what this Pokemon is here for. Then the Ice Punch is just good for the Garchomp, the Mandibuzz, the Shaman. And yeah, so that's going to be our Make-A-Wish. Next up is Spin Cycle, the Rotom Wash, holding the leftovers with Will-O-Wisp, Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, and Light Screen. Will-O-Wisp is for his main physical attackers like the Garchomp, the Entei, or well, not the Entei because it can't get burned, the Cobalion, the Tauros, just stuff like that, just big threats on his team. And anyway, so yeah, Volt Switch is just there for momentum. Hydro Pump, just good stab, powerful move. And Light Screen, I feel like he might bring Alakazam on this, or Shaman or something. So if I get Light Screen on the Switch, then it could really hinder those, and might even give me a better possibility of getting a Sword Stance up with Quicksilver, or a powerful hit off with Make-A-Wish or Zap. So that's basically the idea behind Rotom Wash. Next up is Togekiss, the leftovers, defense, or a little bit more defensively invested Togekiss, with Roost, Thunder Wave, Air Slash, and Heal Bell. I actually don't remember why I ran this exact EV spread. I think that it was to take like poison jabs from or iron heads from Garchomp, or Cobalion, something like that. But anyways, oh yeah, this is our Togekiss with Roost, Thunder Wave, Air Slash, and Heal Bell. This thing can really counter the Shaman, as an HP Ice only does about like 30% to me, somewhere around there. And yeah, so this is just a very, very solid wall for us this week with the Roost for reliable recovery, Thunder Wave, and Air Slash. You know, it does the whole paraflinching thing. But anyway, so yeah, this is gonna be Togekiss, and yeah, moving on to our last Pokemon is Zap, the Zebstrika holding the Life Orb Sap Sipper for to be able to switch into that Shaman, Overheat, HP Ice, Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch. So I'm hoping that after I switch into a Shaman, get that Sap Sipper boost, he'll be nervous, switch out into like I don't know, like Garchomp or something to take the Overheat, which is quad resisted by the Garchomp. And so, yeah, that's why I am running the Life Orb, though, so that I'm able to switch up moves. He doesn't have a very fast team, actually, barring the Alakazam. So, this is really all the speed that I need to run in this to outspeed everything on his team, including the Cobalion. Actually, no, he does have quite a fast team. He has the Tauros as well. They can reach 350 speed. So, yeah, that's going to be our team to take on the boss. We'll see you in the battle. Hopefully it all goes well. Hey everybody, welcome to the battle portion of the video. So here we got our team matchup against the boss. He's bringing the Shaman, which could be really powerful. Alakazam, which is a special monster. Cobalion, which can really check my Weavile because I don't have low kick. Or I guess not even check, but straight up counter. Garchomp, which I'm really not too afraid of Garchomp actually. And then Mandibuzz, which can be annoying, and Entei. And since he's shiny, I'm kind of guessing that he's banded Entei as or not even banded, but I think E-Speed is the move that he has to be shiny for. It's something like that, but I forgot what it was. But at the time, I knew that he had that move because he was shiny. But yeah. Anyways, this is our team matchup. If you want to see our team, just rewind a little bit, and I recorded a team builder for that. Anyways, I'm looking for the Weavile sweep once that Cobalion is gone. And yeah, so anyways, lead wise, I'm thinking that he'll probably lead with the Garchomp or the Mandibuzz. Or the Garchomp or the Cobalion. So I'm just going to lead out with my Rotom Wash to get a Will-O-Wisp off or just a solid Volt Switch. And yeah, so let's get into the battle. Anyways, he actually leads off with the Shaman, which is the worst case scenario for me. So here I go straight into Zebstrika, as I do have Sap Sipper. He does go for the Seed Flare. I get a +1 attack, and here I go for the HP Ice, predicting the Garchomp. I should have clicked Overheat, but anyways, yeah, he goes for the Earth Power. The reason that I should have clicked Overheat was because I was Life Orbed, and if he went into Garchomp, I would have gotten a little bit of chip damage off. But yeah, plus I could have just gone into Gligar or Rotom, as those things really counter Garchomp. And so yeah, I don't know. I should have played a little bit more. I don't know. My head was really not in this game at the time. I had some other stuff going on, personal matters, but yeah, and I do apologize in advance for the quality of this battle. I was just not playing how I usually do, and it is, I don't know, kind of a disastrous showing from me. But we'll see how it goes. And so here I go into Quicksilver to threaten out the Shaman as he goes into Cobalion. Here I just click Icicle Crash in case he predicts again like he predicted on my Zebstrika. Anyways, I go into my Snips the Gligar here because I know that he can't do anything. I do have Defog on this, so pretty nice. But anyways, he goes into the Mandibuzz. As I do click the Defog, I don't want these rocks on my field at all because I do have a Togekiss and a Weavile. But anyways, I click U-turn as he actually eats his Jaboka Berry, which I didn't even know what it did, so I looked it up in the chat, and basically it gives Natural Power Dragon 100%, and I don't know. I got hurt after I hit him, so I don't know why I didn't just run, like, I don't know, Rocky Helmet instead of Jaboka Berry, but whatever. Anyways, he clicks Tailwind, and so I wasn't really expecting that. And then Toxic's my Spin Cycle, as I set up a light screen because I thought that he would switch out into Shaman. And here he goes for the Defog to defog my screen away, as I just click Volt Switch and get a solid 39% off. I'm not offensive, so that's pretty good damage. Here I go into Togekiss to because I want to try to stall out this Tailwind. I don't want to give him momentum. So here I just click Thunder Wave, and he does click Toxic, but I do have the heal bell on this, which is really nice. And so I'm able to heal Spin Cycle and myself, and Togekiss from the poisoning, as he actually clicks Roost. Not bad at all. Here I'm just going for a pair of flinches, basically, with the Air Slash, and I do get the first one. Here I swap out into Spin Cycle, knowing that it'll probably click Roost. And so yes, he does, but now we're just going to click Volt Switch, and we are faster. Actually, no, I'm sorry. For some reason, I keep setting up these light screens, and he keeps toxicking. So, anyways, I go for the Volt Switch. That is 42% this time. Not bad, not bad. And now I go into Make-A-Wish. I do have Ice Punch on this, and but then he does get up the Tailwind, and so I decided to go for the Iron Head, and because I want to try to stall out this Tailwind a little bit, as he does go into the Entei, which I don't know at this point, but it is banded. Ice Punch freezes, but it doesn't matter because Sacred Fire will just thaw it out. And here I go into Gligar, my designated switch in, as the Sacred Fire does 38% to me and does get the burn, so that's kind of unfortunate, but it is 50%. Anyways, my light screen wears off, as I believe that I just clicked Roost here because I need Snips at full health to be able to take on that Entei, Cobalion, and like the likes of Garchomp as well. So anyways, I go into Togekiss here, as his HB Ice really does nothing to Togekiss, only 30% to especially defensive Togekiss here. But anyways, now he goes into Mana Buzz. As I click Heal Bell, I really can't have my Gligar burned and Spin Cycle Toxic. So I just click Air Slash, looking for another Parahack, and I do actually get it. But here, for some reason, I swapped into Rotom. I mean, I guess I thought that he'd want to save this, but there's really nothing to save it for. He has no Rocky Helmet or anything, but he goes for the Tailwind again. But like I said, I'm just making some really bonehead plays here. Here I click Light Screen and allow him to get up another Roost. Even though Light Screen really doesn't do a whole lot for me. I do get a crit on the Volt Switch to 62%. He lives on 1. As he'll just click Defog to get that screen away. And now I feel like I'm in a more favorable position with Make-A-Wish, so I click the Iron Head. But he actually goes into Entei here. And the Tailwind does peter out, so that's really nice. Don't have to deal with that anymore. Entei comes in, so I go right back into Gligar, as this thing, like, it's doing a ton of damage to me, so I'm pretty sure that it's banded, but or banded or scarfed, I guess. But Earthquake does 11%. For some reason, no, okay. My play every single time on the Entei was to click Roost, because if he swapped out, then I can't take 2 Sacred Fires from Entei. And so here, I had a perfect switch in to Togekiss. It was at full HP. Yeah, it was at 88. That was fine. And I don't know. I was really in no position, or there was no reason for me to swap or to keep Gligar in there and click U-turn. But anyways, so yeah, that kind of blows. Here I go into Quicksilver and double out into Jirachi to try to get some damage onto this Cobalion, because right now I'm thinking that Swords Dance Weavile is going to be the only way that I can win. As he actually Z close combats me, all out pummeling, as I get a Zen Headbutt off on this. It does 31%, but at +2, Weavile can't knock this thing out from 44%, so that really sucks. And I don't want to give him that justified boost from knockoff. But anyways, here comes Togekiss. As he goes into Alakazam, I actually get a crit on this Air Slash, super hacksy for me. I'm sorry about this. But anyways, he traces my Serene Grace and actually goes for the Thunder Wave. I'm not really sure why. I mean, he knows that I have Heal Bell. But here I just go for another Air Slash, as it does take out the Alakazam. So that's a big threat gone. Now it's 3-4 right now, and he sends out the Entei. I really don't want to take damage from this, so I go into Spin Cycle, as he does go for the Iron Head, and this basically confirms that well, I guess it doesn't really confirm that he's scarfed or banded, but anyways, he goes into the Garchomp here. I predicted the Shaman to come in, so I clicked Volt Switch, but goes into the Chomp. So goes for the Dragon Claw, does 34% to me, as I just click Will-O-Wisp. And here, like I said, I'm just making bonehead plays. Like, first off, let's see, he gets the crit with a Poison Jab, doesn't really matter, but I click Volt Switch right here, and then I just kind of keep clicking Volt Switch as he clicks Poison Jab again and gets the poison on me. And I don't know. Rotom can still be really useful, like with Entei and everything, but I just keeping Rotom in as he's just continued to poison jab. I mean, I could have like knocked him out at this point with Hydro Pumps, but yeah. So I don't know why I'm doing this. I could have killed the Garchomp, sacked something, gone into Weavile, and yeah, really hurt hurt him. But anyways, basically my thinking behind this at the moment, which was really dumb of me to think, was, oh, since he's burned, he won't do a whole lot of damage to Weavile, so I'll go into Weavile, set up a Swords Dance, and win. But of course, he has an E-speeding Entei that I forgot about. And so I go into Quicksilver, I set up my Swords Dance, which I really should have just Ice Sharded because this thing can really do a lot of damage without +2. And anyways, here I click Knockoff, which was another stupid thing. If I clicked Ice Shard, I wouldn't have gotten hurt by the potential Rough Skin, but he actually didn't have Rough Skin. So here he goes into Entei, and Bandit E-Speed is going to kill me anyways. So now I'm only down to Togekiss, and really the only chance I have of winning is Parahax. So first off, I go for the Thunder Wave on the Entei, and then he actually swaps out into Shaman, which is really nice for me, so that I can get this paralysis gone and roost up to try to get to full health. As yeah, so here's the roost. He actually gets paralyzed right there, which is really good for me. And here I go for the Air Slash and get the first flinch, which is really nice, and then go for it again and get the second flinch. So Shaman is kind of rendered useless here. If it did Seed Flare me and get the -2, it didn't really matter because nothing else on his team, especially attacking. As he goes into Cobalion and does 50% to my Togekiss here, as I actually missed the first Thunder Wave, so I have to go for Thunder Wave again. Leftovers should allow me to live that second one, which is really nice. And anyway, so yeah, now his Cobalion is paralyzed, and I basically have to roost up until he can, until he becomes paralyzed. So right now I'm just pure Fairy type after I'm roosting. So yeah, Iron Head will still be doing super effective damage. I just keep on clicking Roost. He actually gets a crit there, almost kills Togekiss, but like you can see, I was 0.1% of health right there, because that did 75.9%, which is crazy. As I roost up again, he actually swaps out of Cobalion and goes into Entei. Banded Iron Head does 61.5% as I click Thunder Wave on this Entei. And again, same principle. I just have to roost until until paralyzed. So actually, I clicked Air Slash here. I think I was just going for a game because I was like, screw it, they're both paralyzed at this point. But he goes into Cobalion, and so I can just roost up again until yeah, like they're paralyzed. But I don't know why he swapped out of Entei, because Entei's Iron Head was doing a lot more than Cobalion's, and so I actually had to go for the Air Slash there, because if I roosted there, like, let's go back a couple turns. Iron Head did 61% to Togekiss, and so after my Thunder Wave, if I roosted here, that would put me at 58%. And so if he clicked Iron Head and broke through paralysis, he would knock me out. And so here I had to click Air Slash, hoping for a Parahack, or Paraflinch, and he actually swapped into Cobalion, which allowed me to then begin my whole roost stalling thing again until he gets paralyzed. And so that's the plan right now, is if I can just roost up until I'm about, however much health I have, until he gets paralyzed, then I can potentially win because of Parahacks, Paracrit on the Entei. And so here I'm just roosting up again. I'm actually getting up almost to full here as I roost up, and I'm at 96%, and here he finally gets paralyzed, and so Togekiss is actually full health right now as I click Air Slash and I'm able to take out this Cobalion. He goes into the Entei now, and like I said in the chat, this is the only way that I have to win. So 38% with the first Air Slash doesn't kill him, or doesn't flinch him, sorry. And so here I'm just forced into the whole roosting game again. So basically he'll either wear me down with like 6 or 7 Iron Heads until he kills me, or crits me, or I get the paralyze. And so I'm really hoping for the paralyze here. That's again, the only possible chance that I have of winning right now. So he continues the Iron Head. It's doing a solid 61%, 62% every time, as I just keep roosting up. And here he goes for another Iron Head. And it's been about 4 or 5 turns since Iron Head is hit me. And so I just decided, you know what, he'll probably get a crit before I paralyze him. So here I just went for the air slash, went for game, and he does get flinched. And that's going to allow Togekiss to come in with another air slash and take out his final Pokemon. So I do apologize to Boss for all those hacks in my favor in that battle. I know that he got like a Seed Flare crit on Gligar. I don't think that mattered. And yeah. So I really do apologize. It's a very rough way to lose. I've been in that position before. I'm sure everybody who's played League battles, who have played Pokemon, has been in that position before, and it's a very hard way to lose because you feel like you've outplayed your opponent, you've outprepped your opponent, but it just comes down to the RNG of this game that we love to play. And so it's okay, though. We both are in the playoffs for PEBA, so don't worry about that. Our team moves to, I believe this is week 10, so we move to 7-3, I believe. We got Eevee Master up next, so we'll catch you again for that battle against the Master of the Eevees. But anyways, in the meantime, be sure to root for your Baytown Blue Shells. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a nice day.